Sheriff, we'll just start with, obviously we saw the post. What can you tell us as far as the process, how this went down, how it got to the point? I don't know, maybe you don't know the full details at this point, but just kind of how we got to this point to where partners were able to get this guy in custody.
Well, this was a complete team effort, and there are so many compliments to give along the way. Every state that we communicated with was completely on board right away, and threw resources at whatever we needed. So essentially, we hubbed the intelligence side of things and worked on getting the information with our federal partners. And then we had different hubs of people who were searching in the different states where we thought he was. So at this point in time, we know that he fled south with an accomplice. That accomplice has already been extradited back north. We then presume at this point that Mom picked him up, and we were able to track Mom down on their way back toward Arizona. And our federal partners threw a lot of resources at it. They had a helicopter, and then they essentially, from my understanding, conducted a preemptive grapple. So no emergency lights, no warning. They had a feeling that Mom would flee and get into a high-speed chase to try and keep her son out of custody. So they were taken into custody a little over an hour ago, and that's kind of where we're standing right now. So now we're going through the extradition process, and we're going to start working on arrest warrants and things like that for other involved parties.
You had at the scene the night of the initial incident, you had some pretty direct comments toward the past, and that this is somebody who's been in custody in the past but has been out, released in some form or fashion. I'd imagine, I know the answer to this, but your hope now, I'd imagine after all this, that this is someone who's not out for some time.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not held indefinitely at this point, I don't know what it would take. So, I mean, we'll see. With the amount of crimes he's committed across multiple state lines, it won't surprise me to see this case go federal.
Can you give specifics of exactly where he was taken into custody?
I don't know. I know it was somewhere near the California, Arizona, Nevada state line area, probably outside Vegas, quite frankly. So I don't have like a jurisdiction or anything like that, and I haven't gotten a whole lot of details. They sent me a photo and said he's in custody. I'm letting them go to work right now because there's a lot of work to be done to secure that scene, to seize the vehicle they're in, get a search warrant for that. There's going to be another dozen or so search warrants that need to be executed to make sure that we lock this dude away forever.
Are you relieved to see him in cuffs after the scene we saw last week?
Yeah, I haven't slept since the shooting, so hoping tonight I can get some rest. Happy to know that the community is not in danger anymore, that no other police officers were killed. That was another concern of mine. The statements he was making, we knew he was still potentially armed. So, yeah.
Kind of along those same lines, when you saw that picture come through, kind of take me through that moment right when you saw that.
Just relief, and also a good stark warning to anyone who wants to engage in this kind of behavior. There is no escape. Shoot, I can tell you right now, you may be able to get away from the Thurston County Sheriff's Office temporarily, but we're going to ask for as much help as we can, and I can tell you right now, you're not getting away from the federal government.
Obviously, nobody was injured in this. I've never been shot at, but I can't imagine it's an easy feeling. How's your deputy been doing?
He's been doing good. He's actually at a training conference this week, so he gets to take a little bit of time and go do canine stuff. So him and Canine Asher are off at a canine conference, and we actually discovered that a second patrol vehicle, it looks like, may have been struck as well, the second pursuing deputy. So both of those staff are doing well. We have an internal mental health provider who they have access to and is constantly in touch with all of our employees who go through things like this. So we're a pretty resilient department, and we're a department that gets after it. So,
anything you could tell us about that initial accomplice? Was that the girlfriend? And what do you know about the mom at this point, if you had reason to believe that she would be willing to flee?
As far as the female that he first left with, I have no idea. Side chick? I don't know. I don't want to ruin his marriage or anything like that, or his engagement. But yeah, he fled the state with another female who he's not engaged to. So don't know what's going on there. She has been apprehended. She actually had a warrant for robbery out of Thurston County. So she's in jail. It's interesting how these birds all flock together. And then as far as mom goes, people were sending us a ton of tips, and we saw all sorts of comments on her from social media claiming that, we were fabricating everything, and that, her son never shot at us, and that she was on the phone the whole time with him during the pursuit. So just a lot of that stuff in general led us to believe that she would do just about anything to try to harbor and help her son commit more crimes.
Just to clarify, so there's the initial person who was driving in the pursuit. That person was taken into custody that night. Yeah. And then there's another accomplice that he fled with in addition then to the mom?
Correct. Yeah, that's when that was basically the next day or so where he fled out of state.
That's all I have.
Same for me. Anything else you wanted to add that we missed that's important for people to know?
No, I'm just relieved that this person didn't kill anyone.
And then actually just one other thing. Is there does the family have ties down that way? Were they heading to somewhere where they're from, or they have family? Do you know?
But my understanding is that his mother lives in Arizona.
Got it. Thank you.